In this lesson, you will receive the Akashic Records attunement, opening prayer, and meditation to access the Akashic Records. But first, let's talk theory, a short introduction to the Akasha. In Sanskrit, Akasha is primordial substance. It is something similar to the source, the mind of God, the source of everything, through which all emerges, all is created. It is the union of Mother, Father, God. It is a space, a place, a substance above duality. In reality, the Akashic Records are a dimension of consciousness within this primordial substance. The Akashic Records are not God, they're not source, they are a dimension within all that is, and this dimension contains a vibrational record of every soul's experiences since it's coming into being, since the separation from source. So all the lifetimes, all experiences, all events that took place in the evolution of the soul from the moment of separation or the moment of creation until now and until the end, really. So, in this way, the records contain the divine blueprint and the evolutionary path of all potentialities. The records contain past, present, and future of humanity, but it's not in a linear way because the dimension is much higher than our linear time. The records are outside time. So, in fact, within that space, we can rewrite the past to an extent. By making choices in the present, we can change the future. The future is present as potentialities, but through altering the energies in the records, we can alter the course of the future. And so the records are, to an extent, a remembrance of the future, if that makes sense. And that memory can also be altered. To explain this a little better, maybe you can think about a healing that you received or something that transformed your life and how it made you look on your past with a different outlook, with different eyes, with a different emotion, something that was painful and sad for you or tragic or was bothering you is suddenly seen as just a stepping stone on the path of joy, of liberation. And also your future changes when you are healed, right? Where you were thinking that now I'm going to lie down here for 20 years being miserable. Now I am seeing the future in a bright light. And because of this, the future changes. So the energy of the records is above our human mind and above our perception of time and space. This is important to know when we approach the records because we cannot put them into our human categories. We have to learn to dance with those energies. The records also contain all soul contracts, the high level soul missions, the soul blueprint, our karmic information, karmic resonance, and access to guides. We can connect to our guides in the space of the records, in the one of the access points of the records. Um, and Also, the records are like a matrix, like a DNA of all potentialities. So they hold the soul blueprint, the highest value or outcome, or the perfection of our soul, so our divinity. At the same time, also holding the imperfections. So they hold both the highest possible outcome and the distortions, so to speak, so we can see them. But we have to start gradually, and in order to connect to the records more and more fully, we also have to connect to our soul. So we talk about a dimension of consciousness. It's a realm that exists on a particular dimensional frequency. We normally talk about 12 dimensions in this galaxy, but this is not set in stone. Different people operate with different dimensions. It is accepted that the Akashic Records belong to the fifth dimension, but in fact, some spaces in the records can also go up much higher, and they can be a gateway to even higher dimensions beyond the fifth dimension. And the frequency of the records is so high that we need a pathway, we need a gateway to be able to enter out of the 3D experience. So we can be transported into the records, but we need a particular pathway and an intention. We need to enter into the divine consciousness. So this is why we use a sacred prayer and an attunement to be able to enter the Akashic Records. You maybe are familiar with the pathway prayer. I'm going to teach you a different prayer, but there are multiple possible prayers or formulations. Um, the Akashic Records as a space at this level of vibration is or can also be seen as a code. So it's a language of codes and symbols. So in our meditation, we are going to ask for a sacred symbol. It is possible to also receive it as a code. How to explain this? The language of symbols, so signs, pictures, sacred geometry, it's universal. It exists everywhere, and those symbols have permeated cultures that have had no connection. For example, the Maori culture in New Zealand, in the Pacific Islands, and the Celtic culture in Ireland or Wales or England. The symbols are very similar sometimes, yet these nations, these cultures, were on the opposite sides of the globe. But the language of symbols, it comes from higher dimensions and is accessible to our consciousness. So in the Akashic Records, we can sometimes receive information as symbols and code. And working with code is a very high level of energy work, where we can write the code, read the code, and rewrite the code. And by code, I mean literally words or symbols or a combination of words and symbols, maybe numbers, like a computer code or like a Kabbalistic code, where you alter the letters and the energy of a place, a being, an element changes, and you can you can alter an object by altering the code of an object. You can alter its state by altering the code of an emotion. You can alter emotion. You can add something to that code. So this is also possible in the Akashic Records. So you will receive a key to enter the records. So for the sacred prayer and for the attunement, you may want to have a piece of paper and a pen handy so you can write down or draw the symbol or the code that you receive. It will be your shortcut to access the Akashic Records in the future. Because the information contained within the records is given to us in the form of light language, um, codes and symbols, and our mind interprets it then into human words or human understanding, sensations, etc. So, translation of the Akashic Records language is where the work lies. The information is already there, but it's translating it. That will take time and perseverance. Um, so, what you are learning and what is going to take time and honestly, uh, most likely several years to master is translating the code of the Akashic Records, translating the symbols, the information. Eventually, you will be able to give language to this, to put this information into language with relative ease, but it will not happen immediately because it takes skill and time. So, but the more you connect to records, the more you attune yourself to this higher level vibration. And the attunement happens at the levels of the human brain, the glands, the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, at the auditory system, at the Ajna chakra, the brow chakra, the crown chakra, at the higher chakras out of body. And when those get activated, you receive more clarity and deeper experience. So, when you go into the Akashic Records and receive information, this information helps us bring our past, present, and future into this moment so you can work with them with conscious awareness and connect all the aspects of self for balance and integration, eventually releasing addictive patterns, false beliefs, ingrained patterning, and also connecting with your highest blueprint, with the divine blueprint, with the highest path, learning how to create new choices, how to create action. So it's a very alchemical energy. It transforms, and the Akashic Records always give freedom of choice and freedom to choose good, to choose grace, to choose the divine. Ultimately, they lead us out of the illusion of separation into union with the divine. So every time we enter the records, our vibration is raised, we are uplifted, and we become enlightened through the process. So it's literally being filled with light, absorbed. The light gets absorbed into our cellular structure within the physical body. So the more often we enter the records, the more we become enlightened, filled with light. And it enlightens us and also enlightens others and ultimately enlightens the whole earth. That's why the Akashic Records have become available to more and more people. So we are going on a path back to oneness with all that is every time we work in the Akashic Records. That's why this work is so important. And we go into sacred union with the physical self, with our soul, with everything that is, and with the higher light and our higher self. So the highest goes into the physical body, integrates the higher self with the personality self and becoming transformed. So we will start with the opening prayer and the attunement. For this, let us create a sacred space. So, first of all, you would need to be in a room, in a place where you will not be disturbed. So, set aside half an hour or so for the sacred space, the sacred place where you can go in and experience this attunement. And you may find a ritual to do so. We in our bodies often need rituals just to put the mind in that state. As an example, a ritual can be lighting a candle, uh, finding a particular chair for maybe you have a meditation chair or a meditation corner or a prayer room. You can have your favorite crystal with you. We will have another lesson on charging pendulums and crystals in the Akashic Records. So this will be a separate lesson. But if you like, you can take a crystal or a rock or something small to charge in the records now. And then we can talk more about it in the next class on working with a pendulum and clearing crystals and pendulums of any residual energies. So a pen and paper, a crystal, lighting a candle, maybe incense, or you can just sit down comfortably, sitting, not lying down, with your back straight. Close your eyes and relax. And let us begin. Let us start just by tuning in to our physical bodies, sensing how we feel at this moment. What is the underlying emotion, the tensions? And let's begin to relax. Relaxing the feet, the toes, relaxing the legs as if there is a wave of relaxation going up from your feet up the legs, relaxing the calves, the muscles of the calves, relaxing the knees, drawing out any tension, softening the knees, relaxing the thighs, the hips, relaxing the lower belly, the lower back, the whole belly is relaxed as you breathe in deeply. And with the out breath, release any tension that comes up, releasing the mid back, the solar plexus relaxes and releases. Relaxing the chest, the upper back, and the wave of relaxation goes up to the shoulders, rolling the shoulders back and relaxing the arms, the upper arms. Just this wave of relaxation rolls down from the shoulders into the upper arms. They relax and become heavy. The elbow, rolling down the arms, into the hands, relaxing the hands and the fingers. All the fingers relaxed, as if every muscle is massaged by an invisible energy, like a wave of softness and heaviness. And now this wave rolls up the hands and arms and back into the shoulders, relaxing the neck. Allow your head to rest against the surface, maybe a wall or the back of a chair, or just roll your head side to side to release any pressure, tension in the neck, and relax. And relax the mouth, the eyes, the space between the eyebrows, relaxing the whole face as if it's massaged softly by this gentle, relaxing energy. Finally, relaxing at the crown of the head, feeling now your whole body completely rested and relaxed. Bringing your attention to the rhythm of your breath, flowing in and out of your nose effortlessly. with the in breath, inhaling the relaxation, with the out breath, exhaling any residual tension, and the whole focus remains on the breath, just you and the breath. Everything else is dissolving around you, floating in space, only you and the sound of the breath. And we will begin with the opening prayer to access the Akashic Records. And you can repeat it silently within yourself or out loud if you like. I align myself with my true essence of purest divine love light. I am surrounded by my spiritual guiding team and the eternal love of my higher self. I call upon my Akashic Record guide to protect, support, and assist me. I ask for guidance and clear direction as I am open to receiving with a pure open heart. All that is sacred within the records of divine wisdom. I accept the truth of what is revealed for my highest good and the highest good of everyone connected to me. I am now able to go into the records with divine faith, love, and trust, and receive deep insights, wisdom, and knowledge to assist my soul path. And so it is. And now, just place gently your right hand on your heart, taking some deep breaths. With each breath, feel your heart expanding to receive. Just feel that deep appreciation for your heart being your guide, your connection to the higher realms, feeling your heart continuing to expand, feeling this loving energy arising in your heart. Filling your heart with light, just seeing how your heart begins to expand, filled with light, filling up, starting to flow, emanate from your heart center. It is your heart that is your attunement, your receptor for the Akashic field. It is your heart that receives the knowledge and wisdom of the records. Your heart is your spiritual antenna. It is the gateway into higher dimensions. And it is now expanding and filling with light. That light beginning to emanate out into your physical body, filling the cells in your body, filling up your aura as well. As if your heart is becoming a star with rays emanating in all directions, gradually filling up the space around you, around your physical body, up, in front, below, behind, to the left, to the right, and in all directions. Light. And let us now ask for your master guide to appear. Let us ask to clear the obstructions. Akashic Record guides, ascended masters, lords of the Akashic Records, please clear the obstructions to connecting more fully with my master guide. Clear any karmic blocks or vows that are blocking me from entering the Akashic Records. Allow me to see, feel, and receive information. Clear obstructions between me and my guide and the high beings I am connected to, and give me the courage and guidance to recognize the truth when I have it. Ask now for your master guide to step towards you and to show him her itself to you. And just ask to feel the energy of your master guide. It may just be a color, a shape, a feeling, a subtle change in energy. Maybe a word, maybe a name. Your Akashic Record Master Guide is now here with you. See yourself as your master guide. Also seeing the light expanding from within you, surrounding you. And just rest a little in this experience with your guide, with the light emanating from your heart. Getting used to your guide. Seeing your guide more clearly. Ask the guide to introduce himself. Ask how you can call them, or what would they like to be called. Ask to feel your guide more clearly. Trust now what you are experiencing. Trust your feelings. Trust your images. Trust what you are receiving. Your linear mind sees and perceives differently. But now you are not in the realm of your linear mind. Just allow yourself to relax in this experience while still feeling yourself expanding. Keep the connection with your heart. Growing, your heart active, bursting with light, expanding. And you are expanding with this light wide out in your energy field, becoming maybe as big as the planet, or as big as the house, as big as the universe. Allow yourself to expand while also seeing yourself with your guide. You may wish to take your guide's hand or ask your guide to take your hand. And as you are expanding, just feel yourself merging into this field. Ask now to enter into another dimension of this field, to enter into the Akashic Records. And you will see a door or an opening in front of you. And if you don't see it, just ask to be shown a door into the Akashic Records. And see yourself entering through this door with your guide. Ask to enter this door, stepping into further light, more light, together with your guide. Allowing your heart to feel this connection expanding. And as you move into this light, move into another dimension, look around you with your guide right next to you, moving through this gateway, this doorway. You are now in a different reality. Look around. Feel what you see, what you feel, what you receive. Colors, sounds, sensations. Just absorb this space. Allow for whatever comes. Accept it. Don't analyze it. Just receive. Don't ask, what does it mean, what it stands for. Just receive the light, the feeling, the experience, what it feels like in your body. Now ask in this space, all you need to do is ask. To start moving the energy. You can ask to see yourself. You can ask to be shown the color of your soul. You can ask to see more clearly, to understand more clearly. And when you feel comfortable enough in this space, ask to receive a personal symbol for you to open the records in the future. Just say, I ask to receive a personal symbol or a code or a message for me to open the records in the future. And receive the first thing that comes to you, the image. Maybe it's a word. Maybe you will start seeing letters. Maybe it's a sacred symbol, a picture, an object. If you're seeing a geometric shape, maybe quickly make a drawing of it. Maybe it's sound or a collection of sounds, like in light languages, sounds that come together in what feels like words, but not in a language that you know, so it's just a collection of sounds in a light language, in a non human language. Or write it down the way you hear it, the way you hear those sounds. So next time you can enter the records just by relaxing, saying the opening prayer and using the sound or the symbol or a combination. Perhaps you receive a symbol of a particular color and you heard a word in a language you don't know, write it down. This will be your sacred key to open the records whenever you choose to do so. So take your time to receive the message, to receive the sacred symbol, and ask now for a personal message for yourself from the records, allowing yourself to receive. And if you have a crystal or another object that you took for this attunement, hold it in your left hand. Try to just grab it without opening your eyes. Place it in your left hand. And give it to be blessed in the records. Also seeing it, seeing this crystal or another object or pendulum. Ask for it to be blessed in the records. If you like, you can ask your master guide to bless this crystal, this object, clear it of any negative energies, and charge it with the energy of this field that you have just experienced, that you are experiencing now. Ask your master guide to place their hands on this crystal and charge it, or just see yourself in that space, stretching out your hand to fill it in with light, and seeing light filling your crystal, charging it with the energy of the records. And when you feel it is done, thank your master guide for being with you and for assisting you. So now we are going to close the records and exit the space. So thank your guide. Say goodbye to them until next time. And we will say the closing prayer. I give thanks and deep gratitude to the guardians of the Akashic Records and my master guide. I am deeply in gratitude for the assistance of divine light, the source of all, and my higher eternal self. The records are now closed, and so it is. So slowly begin coming back into your physical body and your physical surroundings. And connect with your root chakra at the base of the spine, at the perineum. Seeing a cord of light emanating from your root chakra into the center of the earth. As if there is a channel connecting you to the core of the earth, your root chakra to the core of the earth, the cord of light. And now gradually start wiggling your fingers and toes. Take a deep breath. You may want to drink a glass of water or two after this attunement to ground your energy more. Make a note of the message, the symbol that you received, the name of your guide, or just the general feeling of your guide. And until next time, practice entering the records. Practice with the sacred symbol. And the guide with the words you received. Or simply repeating this attunement, listening to it a couple more times. Until next time, when we connect and we go a little deeper in the records.